Welcome, guys. Happy last session of the week. Bada boom. Just like that. Just like that. Just like that. We're going to give it a hot second here. Hot minute. Evening yoga, number 8 altogether. Looking at me, I can't hide. Just pouring out intention with God in my direction. Oh. I don't know the words, obviously. Welcome, welcome. Looking at me, I can't lie. Smells so good in here. Diffusing ylang ylang and orange today. It's delightful. It really is. Okie dokie. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. So we'll just give it another minuto. Welcome, guys. We're just going to be like 60 more seconds, maybe 45. So welcome, welcome. I'll just tell you what we're diffusing real quick. We are diffusing tonight ylang ylang and wild orange. One of my favorites. Now I want to tell you a little story about ylang ylang. Ylang ylang, is an oil that when I first got it, I thought the smell was divine. But when some people smell ylang ylang, they actually think it's like medicinal smelling, right? So it's like really strong for them. I think it's the most beautiful flower in the world. It's so gorgeous, besides jasmine. Now, when my dad first started using ylang ylang, I would bring it over to the house and he'd be like, let me try it. What does it do? So we looked it up. Excuse me. And one of the first things that we noticed that it did was it was a sedative. So my dad, being bald and wanting his sleep, he just starts pouring the oil on the top of his bald head and he just rubs it in. Well, he calls me later the next day and he said, Jenny, I slept 13 hours. He usually sleeps like 6. And he said I had the craziest dreams. Like I remembered everything, every single thing. Like I just remembered it all. And that was our first experience testimonial with ylang ylang. Okay, so it's an oil that I like to diffuse at night. I only do about 1 drop typically if it's right next to my bed. And I usually mix it with other things because it has that very potent smell. I'll mix it with like a petitgrain or a copaiba, something like that. But today we're diffusing it with wild orange. So I'm going to put these in the link after the class. But wild orange is also one of these oils that is very anti-anxious, especially for kids. So I diffuse it in Kello's room a lot with lavender. I'll do lavender, wild orange. But today we're doing it for 2 reasons. One, because they're kind of anti-anxious and then sedative, helping for sedative. But they're also very playful, right? So when you speak of these oils in an emotional sense, they're very playful. So, bringing almost the creative side out, bringing almost like the childlike side out of you. So for that reason, I was craving it tonight. So go ahead and come to your comfy seat. If you're new to the practice, to the online practice, I always have people grab some blocks if you have blocks. If you don't have blocks, you're going to want like a box or a couple boxes. You can use Tupperware. You can use kids' toys, okay? But just for a prop, I also have my chair, a chair behind me, right? So go ahead and get set up there and just come to seated. I'm in hero pose, which just means I'm seated on my ankles. You can also sit in any comfy seat that you want. You can sit in a chair. Okay, we're not doing any super fancy centering today, but I did just want to connect with you. So welcome, guys. So good to have you. So go ahead and come to any comfy seat. And remember that this practice is your practice, right? And today, even though we're focusing on being a little creative and getting ready for the evening, I did also want to just acknowledge that this practice is also so good and helpful for the state of loneliness, right? Because I want you to think about the fact that everyone is doing the same thing you're doing, okay? We're all connected in that way. And there's a lot of beautiful online communities that are happening, that are going on. So as you close your eyes and feel the sits bones in your bum, those are those knobby bones at the bottom of your buttocks. Feel them rooting down wherever you're seated, and feel the rest of the spine lifting up, rolling the shoulders back. You can place your hands in your lap or one hand on your belly, one hand on your heart. And just breathe into the belly. Breathe into the side ribs. And start to let every single part of your household that you hear, that you see in your closed eyes, like lights, or even if you hear TVs in the background, just let it all be a part of your practice. I hear neighbors and electronics, and it's all good. It actually helps me to feel more like a community, right? Hearing other people, knowing they're going through the same thing you are. Inhale. And exhale. So as your affirmation tonight, or a thing that you can keep coming back to, I want you to recognize the child within, right? I want you to recognize, as you're maybe home with your kids or seeing other, families who need to be home, that we all have our struggles, right? That even if you might be alone in your home or lonely, that, believe us, the people who are with their families sometimes wish they were alone, okay? And vice versa. So know that the grass is always greener in your mind, but not in reality. So be grateful for where you are right now, that you either have a family with you or that you do have the alone time that families crave. And I want you also to bring up that child within you. So the child within you, that if you were going through this as a little one, you'd have no clue, right? So I want some of that child playfulness, almost like unawares. Let's get back to that for a moment so we can at least shed the anxiety from our shoulders, from our psyche, from our mind. Take another deep breath in to the belly, to the side ribs. Now lift it all the way up to the chest, into the face, up towards the head. And as you exhale, bring your hands together in front of the heart. We'll begin with one sound of peace. You can listen in or just join with me. Okay, inhale. Good, inhale. And as you exhale, release the hands. If you're in hero, you can stay or you can hop down onto the bum with me, okay? And we're actually going to simply just shake out the hands for a minute. We're going to open up the hands and wrists tonight, for starters and throughout the practice. So go ahead here, make your prayer pose again, and you're just going to kind of fold your hands outward toward me and then roll them on the back sides. So now you're like a reverse prayer, right? And open them out. And then exhale, come back. So you can do it that way. I'm going to do it again. Open the hands toward me, roll the backs, and then just kind of open them up. You can even clasp them together. And exhale back. Or you can simply do like a roll, where you're just rolling the hands from prayer. I'll do it with you in case you're like, eh. You can actually do it either way. You can do it on the outsides or the insides, okay? So you can do it on the outside so the palms are facing yourself and go like here. I'm just going to roll it. You're just going to roll the hands. Good. Katie and Mom, I think you're on at the same time. So cute. Okay, and then from here, shake it out again. You're going to place your fingers down, and you're going to stretch those fingers towards you as you straighten out that hand. So it doesn't matter which one you're doing. I forget if you can see me mirror or not, so I'm just going to roll with it. I'm doing my right side. I'll do opposite today. Right? And then you make sure you get the thumb involved. Right? So do the thumb like separate, but then I want them all to be together. So go ahead and push them all together forward. And then exhale, release. Now go ahead and place the palm towards you and just roll those fingers towards you. So you're stretching out the back side of the hand. And go ahead and shake that up. Okay, so here, left side or whatever side you're into, go ahead and place the hands around the fingers, point them down. You're doing this a couple times, right? So I want you to breathe into the belly as you're doing this. Inhale. And then to the thumb as well. You can kind of get it separately at first. And then the whole shebang, right? Really push through, stretching out. And then as you shake that out, let the fingers come down. You let the fingers come towards you and kind of stretch that hand towards you. Good. And exhale, release that. Whew. Notice how much tension you might have just released out of your hands, okay? You're going to place that right hand down. Open up that left side. Root down to open up. Extend. Good. And 3. You're just kind of pumping it out. So you feel the right hip rooting down. 2, 1. Exhale up and over to the other side. Root down, lift all the way over. So you're really staying in that same plane, meaning you're not leaning forward too much, you're not leaning back too much, kind of just sideways, opening up. 3, 2, 1. Go for it. Bring the hands all the way up. You're going to plant the hands together and then clasp them and push them up toward the ceiling, right? So we're just going to really stretch out that side body. Inhale. Exhale, relax the shoulders. I know it's a lot of energy going up, but let it flow for a second. 3, you'll sleep really well tonight. And 2, nice and loose head and neck. 1, exhale right down through heart center. Go ahead and roll over the knees forward, or you can come to hands and knees. Okay. Hope you guys had an awesome day. We're going to start to wiggle and waggle the hips back and forth. So wiggle the hips back and forth. Let the wrist come right below the elbow, right below the shoulders. Right? Just wiggle and waggle. Alrighty. From here, find some stillness. Okay? Find some stillness. You're going to lift up your feet a little bit and just roll them out. Just kind of roll the ankles out. Roll them out. And then from here, look down, look ahead of your hands a little bit. Reach through the tailbones. You're just going to reach it back. Start to feel the sit bones activating. That almost means like reaching the hip, the sit bones wide, your butt bones, reach them wide, as if you're separating the hips. This is a very internal kind of intimate cue, right? Kind of start to reach the tailbones like you're separating your hips for 3. The top of the head reaches forward. Just gaze forward a little bit. Let the head be nice and neutral. Last one. Good. As you inhale, drop the belly. Fill the belly with air. You don't have to drop it far. Just fill it with air. Lift through the heart. And then exhale. Arch the back just as much as you can. If you can't a ton, then just do it a tiny little bit, but drop the head. I want you to feel that stretch in the neck. Inhale, lift and lengthen, stretch through the heart. Relax the shoulder blades together. Exhale, drop the head. Inhale, drop the belly. Lift through the heart, sternum. Exhale, release into your back. Drop the head and face. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Good. We're going to come back to that neutral spine. Go ahead and plant the hands like you're in down dog hands. Lift that left foot behind you like you're stepping on the wall. Really reach through. You can pump it a little bit. Okay, now feel your hips nice and square. You're going to exhale, draw that knee into your chest. Do a little cat pose here as you're drawing the knee in. Inhale, lift it up. Inhale. Good. Exhale, release. You're going to inhale, reach it back out. Exhale, release. We're going to do 3 more of these, and I want you to start to really pull the belly in and up, right? Really activating the core. Exhale, release. Good. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, release. Last one. Inhale. You can keep your foot here. You can always drop it down if you need a little rest. You can bend at the knee, and you can wrap that right hand around. Grab the ankle only if you can reach it, or foot, and lift it up long for 3 and 2. Inhale, draw it all the way around. Exhale, release. Go ahead and stretch out the feet or legs, or shake it out side to side, whichever feels good to you. Remember, this is your practice. I'm giving suggestions, but we want to really find our own body, what our own body can do. Inhale that right foot behind you. Inhale. Exhale, pump it out a little bit. Just pump it like we did the first time. Let the hips be square. And then exhale, draw it through. Draw the knee through. Good. Inhale, stretch it out. Do this nice and slow. Exhale, bend the knee in. Exhale, pump it out. Good. Actually, we'll do an exhale in. Sorry about that. The inhale stretches it out. Exhale, 2 more. Good. And lift. Last one. Exhale. Good. As you inhale, lift, you're going to stretch it out. You can drop the back foot at any time. Okay? And then bend the knee if you need to. That left hand can come around and lift and lengthen through the heart, forward through the heart. 3 and 2. As you inhale, stretch it back out. Exhale, release. Shake it out side to side. Side to side, side to side. Now we're going to do one, actually, we're going to do one more wrist stretch before we move on, okay? So stay right where you are. We're going to plant the right hand. Oh, you can't see my hands anymore. We're going to plant the right hand. The left hand actually, well, I'm going to do 2 things here. The first version is the left hand stays palm down, but it turns towards you. So not inward, but outward, out of rotation. The hands are kind of lined up, but the fingers are pointing towards you. Now go ahead and do a little cat-cow here. Inhale. And exhale, drop the head. So just notice that nice little, excuse me, arm stretch on the inside of the arm. And as you inhale the chin up, you can actually do like a little underbite, right? Underbite, and then exhale, release. Excuse me. I think I got some herbs stuck in my throat. Just had my herbal tea and it was like loose, so it's like floating around. All right, so take that right one and go ahead and externally rotate so the fingers come towards you. Same thing here. You're going to inhale a little bit of a cow. Exhale, cat as you arch. Inhale, cow. Exhale, arch. Okay. Now one more thing before we get moving. We're going to take that first hand again. Now we're actually going to put it palm up toward us. This is a little more intense. So just notice, you might just stay here. You might just stay here so you look like this on the ground. You might just stay here and wiggle side to side. It might be too intense for you. Just notice, it's a great wrist stretch. Staying silent, really breathing into any pain, any tension that's being released. 3 and 2. Good. And then push into the right hand to release that. Your left hand should be down now. Your right hand is turning palm towards you. Palm up. Good. You can stay here. You can wiggle. Cat and cow, or just breathe here. 3 and 2. 1. Exhale, release that. Push your hands a little bit forward. Tuck the toes. Come up to downward facing dog. Walk it out. Walk out your dog. Bending one knee, bending the other knee. Good. So you're going to bend one knee, bend the other knee, just so you walk out the, stretch out the muscles of your calf, your hammies. And as you push through the fingertips. Go ahead and find stillness in your dog. So come on the balls of your feet, shoot your hips back. Right, long, long spine. Inhale. Let the head hang nice and heavy. 3 and 2. Now go ahead and start to walk your feet all the way up towards the top of your mat. If you can't do that, go ahead and drop your knees with me. You're going to roll up to knees, right? Knee and knee. Hands to hips. What are these? And you're going to walk one foot up and then the other foot up. Okay? Let me just adjust this so you can see me. Stand at the top of your mat. Okay. So from here, we root down to lift. Exhale right down to heart center. Okay, root down to lift. Do that again. Exhale right down to heart center. Now bring the hands right to the hips. We're actually just going to open up to that wide part of your mat, okay, facing the video still. And we're coming into a Trikonasana. So the front foot stays exactly where it was, facing forward. The back foot, we're almost like in a warrior 2 foot, so that the foot is, I know you can't like see me. Let me change it one more time. So the foot is kind of facing at a 45-degree angle. Okay, there you go. Now from here, we're just going to come into our Trikonasana. So go ahead and straighten out both legs. Bring your hands out. Inhale. You're going to lean over that imaginary counter. The hand can come to the hip. One hand down. Right hand can come down. And you open up into that Trikonasana. Good. Let the head and neck be loose. That left arm can come all the way out. We hopped out to the left side for 3 and 2. Good. Inhale, come all the way back up. Good. Now what we're going to do here, okay, is you're going to turn toward the front again, but this leg is staying back here. It just starts to turn and lift. So you're going to do a little hop. So now your hips are facing forward. Good. Now from here, you can either take your chair and bring it forward and use that, okay? So it's going to be right in front of you. I'm just going to leave it here for purposes of like bumping into it like I was doing all day. Or you can take your box or 2 boxes or whatever you have, put it on the tall side, and hop that back foot in quite a bit. So now both feet are straight down. Both heels are straight down. You're only about a foot distance between your front foot and your back foot. Okay, so this is called pyramid pose. You should start to feel the right hip reach back quite a bit. Your hips are just moving back and forth, right? Your left hip is forward, right hip is back. Notice that tension in your back, or your front hamstring rather, the right hamstring. Inhale, lift. You can stay here with the torso, you can stay here with the spine, or you can start to come down. You can come down all the way. Some of you will start to let your heart come all the way down towards the knee. So go for that if you have that in your practice. Just 3 more here. And 2. Good. Now on an inhale, guys, we're going to come up halfway. So those of you who are on the floor, you can bring your block all the way down or fingertips all the way down. Those who are modifying, your left hand is going to stay on the chair or the block. You're going to bring your right thumb to your hip. Okay? Bring your right thumb to your hip. So if I was facing the opposite way, I would look like this. And then as you inhale, start to come open to that side. You can stay right here, or you can bring the arm all the way up, okay, for your side pyramid for 3 and 2. As you inhale, come all the way back. So just face back again. Good. And then we're going to exhale the knees down. So go ahead and knees down. We're going to come back into that downward facing dog. Good. You can stay here, guys. You can always stay in down dog. Or you can glide forward to a high plank, drop the knees, elbows in as you lower down. Inhale, roll the shoulders back, lift through the heart, and then come back to downward facing dog or child's pose, which is hips all the way back towards the heels. Good. All right, so go ahead and stretch it out in your down dog. Inhale, come on the balls of your feet, let the hips shoot back for 3. And 2. Good. As you inhale, you can walk the feet all the way up towards your hands at the top of your mat, or go ahead and just drop your knees with me. Lift and lengthen onto your shins. Step one foot forward and the other foot forward. Good. Root down. Lift all the way up. Inhale. Awesome. Exhale here. So now we're going to hop out to the opposite side. We're going to hop out to that right side. So our left foot stays forward. The right toes come in. Okay. Setting up for that 45-degree Trikonasana. So go ahead and straighten the legs here. Straighten the legs. Inhale, open up. Lean over that imaginary counter and then drop it to lift all the way to your Trika. Good. So keep tucking that left bum underneath you a little bit. Right, just to be a nice long line, nice long plane. For 3 and 2. Root down to lift all the way up. You're just going to start to turn, kind of hop on that back foot. Right, so now your hips are square. You're kind of lifting in the back ankle. Awesome. From here, we're going to lean forward and come even more. We're going to hop forward. So now our legs are straight. The feet are only about a foot distance apart, right? You're going to start to root down and lift and lengthen here. So you can lift and lengthen through the top of the head. The spine is super long. You're going to lift through the belly for 3 and 2. Inhale. Exhale. You can lower all the way down the heart towards the knee, or you can just stay here, lifting, lengthening. Really root that left hip back, right hip forward. Okay? Really root down through the feet. 3 and 2. As you inhale, so those of you who are all the way down, you're going to come halfway up. Your fingertips are on the floor, your right fingertips. The left thumb, if you're doing the same way I am, comes into the hip crease, right? You open it up. You kind of just extend, like you're elongating that whole body. Inhale. And then you can exhale, start to turn up. You might bring your hand up. You might just leave it there for 3 and 2. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, step back to downward facing dog, or if you're modifying, come with me. Place the hands, tuck the toes, lift all the way up to downward facing dog. Good. You can stay here and rest. You can drop your knees and come into child's pose or puppy pose, which is keeping your hips high as you drop your knees and just lean forward. You can also come forward into a high plank, drop the knees. Lower down. Inhale, roll the shoulders up. Exhale, back to that down dog. Good. Or a child. So stay here for 3 breaths. So from your down dog, you're going to drop the knees. From the child's or puppy pose, you're going to start to come up onto your shins. So you can use blocks here. You can also bring the chair right in front. I'm not going to do that just because it'll block the video. You can bring this chair right in front and have it right in front of you. Or you can take the blocks or the boxes or Tupperware that you have, okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to start to open and kind of do this dynamic flow here. So we're going to start on it's going to be my right side. So you can do this with your fingertips all the way down. See, no big deal. I just wanted to show you for those who need to lift up. You can be lifted onto something like a tissue box or some other kind of box, right? And as you inhale here, we're going to open. So what we're doing is placing that right knee. You were down here like this. We're going to keep that right knee there. You can turn it in a little bit. Let the left foot come behind you, okay? And you can open up here. Now we're going to be here for a little bit in this dynamic flow because I want you to get it, okay? You're going to exhale forward. You can either just bring your hands down or use whatever props you have and super slowly kind of navigate, roll all the way over to the other side. So if you were going to do this without props and do it a little faster, I'll show you what it looks like. Inhale, exhale. You just switch nice and fast like this. Inhale, one breath. Exhale, the other breath. Okay, but if we're doing it gingerly, go ahead and take your props or start to bring your hand on the chair. Roll all the way over, and you just place the block and lift your hand open, and exhale to the other side. So if you're doing it a little faster, do like 2 or 3 more each side. We're just going to do 1 more on each side. Those who are taking it slow. Bada bing, brrr. Root down, lift all the way up. Last time here. Good. And rolling up, inhale. Good. Exhale. Awesome. All right, so you're going to come to the top of your mat once again. All right, or at least leaning toward the top of your mat. That's what we're going to do. So everyone face, that's what I meant, face the top of your mat. Okay, you're going to keep those props up at the top. So move your chair there or just come to the top. And what we're going to do is place that right foot forward. So we're doing a little lunge. And then that back toe is going to tuck. And you're going to start to lift and just bounce here. Now, some of you who might have some balance issues, this is going to be your practice. You just lift a little tiny bit and you can come right back down. And that's your practice. And if you get tired, you're going to come all the way back down to just a lunge, okay, with that drop that back knee. Those who want a little more challenge here, get a little playful. We're going to inhale the back leg up and stay for a moment, okay? Now here, if you want even more of a challenge, okay, those who are staying, actually, I want you to keep the back foot kicking back, okay? This is going to create a lot of strength in your muscles. Those who want a little more of a challenge, a little more fun, you're going to bring your right hand or left hand to your hip and start to open into what we call a half moon. So we kind of just did this on the floor, right? We just basically did this modified on the floor. So those of you who want to play, you can reach your hand away from you. Little challenging. Drop your knee anytime. Drop your back foot anytime. Those who want to really play, you can see if you can bend that back knee and grab it and open up the heart. Don't fall. Exhale, release, and then come back. Good. So from here, we're just in a forward half fold. Going to root down, hands to hips. Lift all the way up. Inhale. Good. Exhale, release. Okay, I told you. Playful, but fun. You'll be tired after this. Inhale, lift. Exhale. Come all the way back down. You're going to do a forward fold here. And anyone who can't forward fold all the way, drop your knees. Plant your hands. Come back to downward facing dog. Good. And just stay here for 3 breaths. Those who need to flow can flow forward. Those who need a break can drop your knees. I'm just going to drop my knees for a sec and fix my mat per usual. Okay. Now from here, we're going to that second side, okay? So from your knees down, we're going to start to bring that left foot forward and hold on to the props. Tuck the back toes, lift and lengthen. So again, here, it's just a modified lunge, okay? You can stay right here. Start to work on the strength of your thighs. Inhale, start to lift that back leg up. Inhale. 3 and 2. Remember, you can start here and just hold this. You can hold this and that's enough strength, right? If you need to modify, you're just coming back down to lunge, okay? But if you want to play with us, what we're going to do, you want to be far enough away, right, that you have stability right underneath your thigh, but you also have enough room to play here when we come here in this position. So again, maybe you stay here and really kick back. If you want to go a little deeper, you start to open up that right hip. Some of you will turn the right hand to the hip and open into your half moon. You might stay here. You might turn the face. And you might bend that knee and grab it. Those who want to go deep and play with their balance. I have so many props to catch me when I fall today. Inhale. Exhale, release. You're just going to come straight down to the mat. Forward fold or halfway lift. Good. Some of you will forward fold all the way. And then if you want to come with me, you just plant the hands, step back to down dog, or plant the knees and come back to your downward facing dog. And then go ahead and rest in a child's pose or a puppy pose. So child's is hips all the way back. Puppy is hips high, hands away from you, drop the head. Go ahead and stay here and wiggle side to side with your head, your forehead rubbing against the mat. Good. Such a good day. And then from here, guys, go ahead and start to come into your tabletop and come right down onto your bums. Good. We just have about 10 more minutes, so good job for sticking with it. Okay. So here we're going to bring our hands behind us, bring our hands, fingers facing forward, and just rock side to side. Here, I'm going to do it this way for you. Rock side to side. Three more breaths. And 2. Good. From here, you're going to come back. Actually, you're going to stay right where you are. I'm going to come back. Excuse me. And then you're going to plant your hands, get your feet so that when we lift up, their ankles are going to be straight underneath the knees. And what we're going to do is start to lift those hips high. Lift those hips. So drop the head. Stop looking at the video. Drop the head here. Release. Push into the hands and kind of let the shoulders just lift. See if the head will drop. Good. Let the knees be right over the ankles. Last 2. Inhale, lift 1 more, and then exhale all the way down. Good. Stay here for a moment. If you want a real challenge, you're actually going to do what's called reverse plank. So you actually are going to walk the feet away from you. Okay, bend the knees a little bit. This one's really challenging because you have to maintain the feet down completely, but they're actually touching. Okay, so let the feet touch together. And as we come up, the feet are going to come all the way down. See if you can straighten. You might get a little cramping here. Just notice the difference. And of course, if you're cramping, release it right away. Good. Exhale and release. So fun, right? Go ahead and plant the forearms back. You're going to come all the way down to your backs. Keep your knees lifted, and you're going to bring your hands behind you on the mat. Right, so bring your hands behind you and just do that rocky thing one more time, left and right. Good. You're going to rock your knees left and right. See, it's working, the ylang-ylang. I'm already like yawning over here. Okay, so from here, we're going to plant the hands down next to the hips. Now this is going to feel a little bit wonky today. I'm going to show you what we're going to do. We're going to plant that left foot in the middle. We're going to bring that right knee over and just let it hang like you're just sitting cross-legged, okay? From here, you're really going to root down your hands. You're going to roll the shoulders underneath you and start to lift, open in the hips. Good. You should start to feel a little shakiness, right? Because it's just that left leg that's letting us be stable. 3 more. Keep looking up. And 2. Inhale. Exhale. Start to roll all the way down. Release that. Bring the left knee over the right knee. Good. Root down. Push down through the hands and then lift all the way up. So now it's the right leg that's giving you stability for 3. And 2. Inhale. Exhale all the way down. Good. Bring both feet down. You're going to separate them hips distance. Okay? You can put a pillow in between your legs or a yoga block. I love doing that right in between the thighs because it reminds me that I'm supposed to squeeze in on this one, but also stay hips distant apart. Root down. Lift all the way up for your bridge. Good. You can stay here if you want to challenge. You're going to lift the leg up, either leg, right? I'm going to do my left leg. So I'm going to plant the right foot. You're not going to lift it up all the way to the ceiling. You're actually going to lift it in line with the other leg. So just halfway up. And another like instability feeling, but really good to get those muscles working. 2 more. So good. Inhale. Exhale, release. Second side. Inhale. Just in line with the other leg. Right? Feel those muscles shake. 3 and 2. Inhale it down and then exhale the whole hip system down. Good. One more time, we're going to separate the feet. Okay, separate the feet wide and just rock side to side. Rock side to side. Rock side to side. Inhale, let it all release out. And here, we're actually going to bring our knees together. So we've been doing a lot of Supta Baddha Konasana this week, which means the feet were together and the knees were wide. But now we're going to keep the knees together and the feet wide. And this is so we can really open the sacrum. The sacrum is that bony, fused bone at the bottom of your spine and your hips. And we're just kind of opening that space back there. And just relaxing the shoulders. Relaxing the shoulders. Just stay here for a moment. Really let the beautiful benefit of gravity kind of take you down. Right? Let you release for 3. And 2. So good. Okay, so from here, I want you to take a moment and do anything that serves you. So maybe you pull the knees into the chest. Maybe you happy baby it. So that means the knees into the chest, feet to the ceiling. Maybe you straddle the legs. So that means really bring them wide. You can point or flex the feet. Okay, you can hold the legs on the inside or you can hold them on the outside. So you can really prop up the heart and prop up using the elbows. Okay. So take a moment, take a few moments and just do whatever feels good there. You can also just roll to one side for a twist and roll to the other side for a twist. Just take a few moments there. Good. And as you start to settle into your final resting pose, right? Go ahead and release the feet. Release the feet away from you. You can always choose to bend the knees so that keep the back flat. Okay, really want you to lengthen the spine in both directions. You can even kind of encourage, as you hold on to the back of the skull, encourage the spine long. 3 and 2. And when you're ready, just settle everything down. Right, the back is flat, the shoulders kind of squeeze together. Inhale. Exhale. Let everything go. Once again, start to just think of yourself as a child. If you have children, put yourself in their shoes. I want you to even picture your mom or dad or caretaker, someone in your family, you know, that's older, a friend. And picture them as a child. There's this Counting Crows line. Is it Counting Crows? No, it's John Prine. There's another Counting Crows song that reminds me of. It's just a child that's grown old, right? So think of yourself as a child. Think of your children right now, how they have like blissful ignorance. And see if we can be responsible adults for them, but also have the innocence of feeling that they have right now. The questions become harder as we grow older, but it doesn't mean that our state has to become more frazzled. We have to always find the center, find the core. Let's take one more minute of silence here. Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Sachidananda Murtaye Nishapanchaya Shantaya Nirambaya Tejase. Start to deepen your breath. Deepen your breath and wiggle eyes and ears and toes and fingers. And as you deepen your breath again, bring the knees to the chest, roll side to side. Let your head be heavy on one side and think about that inner child. As you roll up to seat and bring your hands together in front of the heart space. We'll end on one sound of peace. You can listen or join in with me at your home with your family. Inhale. Take a deep breath in, knowing that you just breathed in the vibration of so many people around the world. Take another deep breath in. Exhale. And as you inhale this third time, bring your hands towards your forehead. May all beings know peace. May all beings know that they're spiritual beings. And may you know that we're connected by the spirituality, by this one energy. May the light in me shine to the light in each of you. Om Shanti. Namaste. Thank you guys so much for being here with me tonight for this sleepy time yet creative and playful practice. I will put a link up to the ylang ylang, which is such a divine smell mixed with the wild orange, which for me is such a nice thing to wind down to at the end of the day. And I also just, if I need calming during the day, it helps me with a little bit of focus, right? So thank you so much for your support. Again, anything that your heart tells you to give will help those of us independent contractors. And I just appreciate you being here. So if you're one like me, please, I don't want anything from you. I just love your presence. Thank you for continuing your practice. And we will see you next Tuesday. So go ahead and catch up on all the yoga that we've done this week and join in with the community. And we will see you Tuesday morning. Have a great night. Bye-bye.